It's an incredible thought, isn't it? That right now beneath our feet, hiding in plain sight, there are cities so vast that if they were still above ground, they would be landmarks in their own right. Hi everyone, welcome to this house. Today we are going to explore the exhibition Tides of Time, Mapping the World's Submerged Cities at the Canadian Centre for Architecture. The exhibition is curated by the CCA and the artist and designer Benjamin Draws, and it considers how rising water levels caused by climate change will soon inundate many parts of the world and what we might learn from history about our relationship between land and water. The show has been a long time coming, with work beginning in 2017. It was originally planned to coincide with the Venice Biennale in 2022. But like so many things, COVID had other ideas. So here we are in 2023, with the exhibition finally opening its doors. In total, there are 6 locations featured in the exhibition: Alexandria in Egypt, Bangkok in Thailand, Charleston in the United States, New Orleans in the United States, the Netherlands, and the Yukagir in Siberia. Each location gets its own room and is broken down into 3 main sections. The first introduces us to the city, situating it geographically and providing some historical context. In the case of Charleston, this included learning about the city's origins. It was founded in 1670 as a fur trading post by the English, then the French, and then again by the British, who named it after their favorite English city, which itself was named after a medieval king's wife. The second section talks about how the city is dealing with flooding today, both naturally and man-made. For example, here in Charleston, there's the Cooper River on one side and the Ashley River on the other. But the natural flooding that occurs as a result of heavy rainfall or storm surges is exacerbated by the fact that much of the city sits below sea level, and Charleston isn't alone, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. 40% of the major coastal cities in the United States are experiencing significant sea level rise and increased rates of flooding. The final section considers how the city will be affected by rising sea levels in the future, specifically how much of it will be underwater by 2100. This is shown through projections based on current trends and illustrate how entire neighborhoods will be completely inundated. These projections are calculated using a free online tool called the C21 Coastal Impact Visualization tool developed by Climate Central, a nonpartisan nonprofit based in the United States, whose mission is to make the science of climate change more accessible to policymakers and the general public. Their website allows users to input their address and see how much of it will be underwater by 2100. And while these predictions are quite scary, I also can't help but think how useful this projection tool could be for real estate agents. I wonder what they think. But for me, one of the most compelling aspects of the exhibition is the physical manifestation of this data. Rather than just being confined to your computer screen, you can walk around these rooms and experience these cities in 3-dimensional form. There are detailed maps with street furniture and vegetation mapped out. There are cross-sections that cut through entire city blocks and show the elevation changes in relation to the projected waterline. And there are even sound elements that add another layer of engagement. These models are all created by Benjamin Draws, who we talked about a little bit earlier. He works primarily with paper, not as a medium to create 2-dimensional representations, but to construct 3-dimensional ones. And he does this by hand-cutting each individual piece. Using an X-Acto knife, he cuts along the contours of the map, removing entire buildings or sections of streets. And by doing so, he creates a raised topography, a physical representation of the data he's working with. One of my favorites in the show is this piece for New Orleans. At first glance, it looks like a topographic map with the color coding indicating the elevation above sea level. But when you walk around the edges of the model, you realize that there's only one color. Everything in New Orleans will be underwater. It's a powerful image that creates a visceral reaction because it shows how one of America's great cities, a place where over 380,000 people live, could disappear without a trace. The exhibition also includes a series of large-scale photographs of each location by Yi Wanbon. They depict empty streets and abandoned homes with weeds growing through the cracks in the pavement. And these are paired with text that includes historical facts about the city, population density, and the predicted rate of sea level rise. So far, we've looked at how the exhibition presents data, but there's another aspect to this show that considers how we acquire that data. In a small room off to the side, there's a table and chair, and on it is a box and a laptop. The box contains a kit for surveying topography, and the laptop has the software. It makes sense of the information once you've collected it. There are instructions on how to use the equipment and why it is important to take measurements in 3 dimensions. The point of this section is to show how data collection happens on the ground, and to give the visitor an appreciation for the work that goes into creating these models. Finally, let's talk about the design of the exhibition itself. When you walk in, you're immediately struck by the light pouring in from above, illuminating all these different plans floating in midair. All of the plans are printed on translucent paper, allowing the light to pass through. You can look at them individually or as a whole. They become almost like an artwork in their own right. The way they're hung also adds another layer of meaning. They're not in any particular order, which means you have to physically interact with them. You have to walk around the room and find the city you're looking for, and in doing so, you become more engaged with the material. Also worth mentioning is the design of the individual city chapters. Each one is finished out with different colors and textures, but my favorite is this one for the Netherlands. This country has famously dealt with flooding for centuries. Its entire existence has been an exercise in learning how to live with water. So here the walls are painted a deep blue, and there is a constant sound of rain that plays throughout. The effect is really striking. It feels like you're walking inside of a water droplet. What's interesting about this exhibition is that it's not just about showing you something scary. Instead, it asks us to consider how we adapt and evolve in the face of disaster. It's a call to action. It challenges us to confront a difficult reality and to think about what we can do about it. And it does this through beautiful and engaging presentation, not by burying us in data. And that's it for this house. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. Special thanks to our supporters. If you'd like to support us, we've got a platform. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.